Time for tonight's rewrite. As Operation Odyssey Dawn enters its fourth day, you have every right to wonder who at the Pentagon has been fired for coming up with the worst name ever for an American military adventure. The answer? So far, no one. There are two reasons no one's been fired for this terrible name. Number one, most of the media seems to think military action in Libya provokes many more important questions than who came up with the stupid name. And two, the media is always excessively deferential to the Pentagon's war titles. In fact, the media is always excessively deferential to the Pentagon in general. So the Pentagon gets away with murder and bad titles. The television news media is especially forgiving about titles. We know how tricky they can be. And they don't always make perfect sense, like the O'Reilly factor. What does that mean? Why isn't it the O'Reilly show? That would make sense. But TV titles don't always make sense, like, for example, a show called The Last Word that is on at 8 o'clock that's followed by two other shows on the same network, so clearly what gets said on The Last Word is not actually the last word on that network or anywhere else. But TV titles have never been under much pressure to make perfect sense. In fact, it is probably TV titles that gave the people at the Pentagon the idea that they could use anything, literally anything they wanted as a title, and it would be accepted. Adam Ronsley of Wired.com had the grand impertinence to ask military officials about that title, Odyssey Dawn. Our own Nick Ramsey piggybacked on Wired's reporting and called the Defense Department's US Africa Command Office in Germany. Between Adam's report on Wired.com and Nick's notes, here's what we know. Each command in the Defense Department is given a few two-letter combinations that they can use for their titles. Under this ridiculously complicated system, the US Africa Command was given 3 different sets of letters that it could use. The words had to begin between JF to JZ, NS to NZ, or OA to OF. Now, the group choosing this title chose the O group, OA to OF. So the first word had to begin with an O. By the way, you're going to have to rerun this on TiVo in order to make any sense of it, or go online afterwards and look at the website and you'll see it all explained again, because I'm not repeating any of this. Anyway, they had to use O for the first word, so that's where they got Odyssey. The second word then had to begin with letters A through F. That's where they got Dawn. Now, according to Major Eric Hilliard, an official spokesman for the U.S. Africa Command, Odyssey Dawn, quote, has absolutely no meaning. We completely agree. But unlike current music lyrics, most of which have absolutely no meaning, there's actually something real at stake in Odyssey Dawn, life and death, for thousands of people. Asking the name to have meaning surely is not asking too much. O, Obama. Obama's adventure. Obama's adventure has meaning. It also has truth. And it fits in the Pentagon's OA to OF bracket. So does Obama's bombs. Full of meaning. But it's not exactly the way the Pentagon or the White House want us to think about this, nor is Obama's attack or Obama's fight or anything else I could come up with in the OA to OF bracket, because I'm one of those words have meaning guys, and I'm likely to come up with something wicked obvious and maybe a bit too meaningful. So help us out. Send us your suggestion using the Pentagon's rules on how to name these operations. Post your suggestion at thelastword.msnbc.com. Come on. How hard can it be? But then I'm the guy who titled this show The Last Word.